Here's something you don't expect to find sitting outside your apartment complex at the dumpster. So, back in, obviously you probably came here from either watching videos about this particular computer and or playing Rock 124 destroying several of these computers. Just get some of this junk out of the way. But, yeah, literally I come home after a stressful day from work, and this frickin' makes my day. Because this was literally sitting, as I was going to get my mail, the dumpster's literally right next door, this was sitting next to the dumpster. And it's good that I got home early and there was no traffic on the way home, because had I gotten home 5 minutes later, this computer might not have, well, I don't even know if it works, but this computer might have been in a lot worse shape, let's just say, because it started pouring rain. So, I don't know, I mean, it wasn't there this morning, so it was definitely dropped off at the dumpster today, sometime today. But what you're looking at is an iBook G3 Clamshell Indigo model. Yes, this is a FireWire model. For those who aren't familiar with Apple's product lines, iBook lines, there was the iBook Clamshell Tangerine Blueberry, which came out in 1999. Those were the PowerBook Mac 2.1, I believe. Then they came out with the indigo, graphite, and key lime colors in the year 2000, a year later, and those had FireWire. I think there was one graphite that did not have FireWire, but most of the models released in 2000 had FireWire, and this one does. This is a FireWire model. As you can see, it's actually not in too bad of a condition. There was some sticker residue up here, but I just took some Clorox. Since there's no color here, I just decided to take a little bit of Clorox and some paper towels, which didn't clean up the residue. I still have yet to find my rubbing alcohol, but when I do, I will definitely give it a try, just to see if I can get the rest of that sticker residue off. It is missing the stem on the Apple logo here, but hey, I mean, at least it's got the logo. Handle's in good condition. So we'll take a look at the ports before we go snooping, before we go checking this thing out to see if it actually works. Unlike my Blueberry iBook G3 that I had in high school, this one actually has the optical drive bezel, so that's nice to have. Did not get the power adapter with it, so I may not be able to test it on camera, but I ordered one on Amazon for $30 because, you know, these, unlike the iBook G3 Snows, which came after, and iBook G4s that came after these G3s, these clamshell G3s, the DC in-jack on the Snow is smaller in diameter than on the G3 clamshells, so the chargers won't work. They're not compatible with each other. Here's the handle, which, as you remember the keynote, Steve Jobs said it has a handle, and the handle is actually, I don't see any major crackage of it, so that's kind of interesting. On this side, we have a 56K dial-up modem. I believe that's 10100 Ethernet, but I could be wrong. USB 1.1, FireWire 400, which was lightning fast at the time, because USB 1.1, 12 megabits per second versus 400 megabits per second. Pretty stunning difference there. Here's the TRS jack for audio out, which also doubles as a composite video output if you have the right adapter. And here is the bottom of the laptop with the nice Apple logo. There's a bit of a, so it looks more like a bruise actually, but, and then there is the battery. This is the original battery. Well, you can't see under there, but I did check the battery and it was copyrighted 2000 Apple computer, so it definitely is the original battery that came with this computer when it was new. So let's see. Well, actually, what am I saying? I haven't even showed you the inside yet. Come on, Ben, wake up. Anyways, so here's the trackpad. Touchpad button is in good condition, no cracks. It is missing some keys on the keyboard, such as the D key, the escape key, and the F8 key. But the keyboard's a little yellowed, but I'll probably just replace the keycaps that I can, and I don't really care about the escape key, but the D key and the 8 keys still have their little plastic clips underneath, so I'll probably just order replacement keycaps. We take the keyboard up. Hard to do this with one hand. Oh, there is an airport card in here. That's nice. Looks like a 10 gigabyte hard drive, because these later clamshells came with 10 gig drives, whereas the originals came with, like, I think 6 or 8 gig drives. But, you know, in the year 2000, that wasn't half bad for a laptop. Well, I gotta set the camera down to get the keyboard back in, because apparently I can't do it one-handed. There we go. Well, whatever. It'll suffice. Built-in speaker, power button, which surprisingly, there's not a single crack on this thing. My Blueberry iBook had cracks all over the power button. The other area susceptible to crackage is around the Apple logo here, and I don't see any obvious cracks there. So we have a 12.1-inch TFT display here, active matrix, supporting up to, I think, millions of colors and a 800 by 600 resolution. Although I have heard of people upgrading, putting displays from the iBook Snows in here to get the 1024 by 768 resolution, but I think I'll stick with the 800 by 600. Anyways, I don't think this is going to do anything when I push the power button, but you never know with old computers. So place your bets. What do you think is going to happen when I hit that power button? Maybe thunder, maybe lightning, maybe nothing. Maybe I'll get Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for my birthday. But anyways, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God. Folks, I think I've just witnessed a miracle. I couldn't reach for the Command Option OF keys to get into open firmware, but I think I've just witnessed a miracle. I think I'm almost as lucky as UXW Bill was when he got that year 2000 Dell Inspiron and the battery was still good after, I think that was 15 years when at the time that video was recorded. This battery's 19 years old and it looks like it's still freaking working. Looks like it's booting into OS X Tiger. I can tell by that, either Panther or Tiger. I can tell by that. Yep, this is Tiger because I can tell by that wallpaper. So this is definitely Tiger, and the iTunes logo down there tells me that this is Tiger. And I know that these clamshells don't have PRAM batteries, but let's see if the date's actually right. The time's not right, but yeah, the date's actually right. It actually has the correct date. The time's not right, though. Just out of curiosity, what's our battery at? 2 hours and 49. I doubt that, but yeah, that's really cool. Thinks we're in the Pacific time zone. How about Eastern time? Philadelphia, that's the closest city to me. Now it's 9:19 p.m. Well, we can fix that. The date's right, though. It is actually 7:01, actually, so crank this back to 7:01. Save. All right. Might actually plug in the Ethernet cable and see if the network time server for Tiger still works. Let's see what we're running here. 10.4 Tiger, 366 megahertz G3, 128 megs of RAM. I can't remember if the max was 256 megs, or I think 128 was the max, but running Tiger on 128 megs of RAM is not going to be pretty. See how long it takes. Yeah, we see we're getting the beach ball trying to load the system profiler here. PowerBook 2,2, PowerPC 750, 367 megahertz, 128 megs of RAM. See what the hard drive is. A Machida 9.37 gig drive, so it's probably, so that's 10 gig. Let's see what kind of graphics we have. ATI Rage Mobility 3 with 8 megabytes of VRAM, 800 by 600 resolution. We have 64 megs of RAM, and we have 64 megs built in and one 64 meg stick of SD RAM, bringing the total RAM to 128 megs. Take a look at the airport card. Wireless network not available. Well, it's probably because it probably only supports WEP encryption. Considering it's the original airport only was what, 802.11b? So, oh man, nostalgia. Let's go on the hard drive and see if they actually wiped this drive. Go to applications here. Gotta love the old brushed metal and aqua and classic Mac and old versions of OS X. Yeah, this looks like a pretty fresh install of OS X. No movies, no documents, no music, and iChat icons, but yeah. I actually want to see what the iChat icons look like. Go into flags. Oh, there's no preview. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. We have 4 gigs of disk space available, so I probably will not be keeping Tiger on here, as I did order a power adapter on Amazon for $30 for this. I'll probably put Jaguar or Panther on here, just because, you know, even though these Firewire clamshell iBooks can run Tiger, whereas the non-Firewire can only run up to Panther. I think 128 megs of RAM, I'll check to see if this can take 256 megs of RAM, and if it can, I'll probably upgrade the RAM to 256 megs and put Tiger back on here. But for right now, I think I'm going to put Jaguar on it, because I actually never really used Jaguar that much, but I'd actually like to try using it again, just see how it is, because my family members up here in New Jersey that still live here have a bunch of old iPods. I think the oldest one's from like 2004, so I think they even have one that's Firewire only, so heck, this would be a nice test subject for one of those old iPods if I ever get around to making a video about that. Anyways, this is what August's video is going to be instead of the present from the coworker, but yeah, there it is, fully functional iBook G3 clamshell that somebody was just throwing out. They just left it by the dumpster, not even realizing that these things go for the big dollar on eBay. I mean, truly remarkable. And look how quick that wakes up from sleep. Anyways, I think that's enough for now, because of course recording on my phone, even though my YouTube channel is enabled is enabled for uploads longer than 15 minutes, my phone won't let me upload to YouTube if the video is over 15 minutes. Actually, I'm going to boot into open firmware here. Just wait for this thing to restart. And meanwhile, you can look at the number 3 and 2 keys on the keyboard while I hold down Command Option OF to go into open firmware. There it is. Built March 20th, 2001. So this is probably one of the last iBook clamshells to be made, because Apple discontinued the clamshell in, I believe, April of 2001, because that's when the iBook Snow came out and the PowerBook G4 Titanium was already out. So this is probably one of the last clamshells that was manufactured in Cupertino. But anyways, I'll make a video of me installing Jaguar on this at some point. Just got to get the power adapter, and maybe that'll be September's video. And with that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.